Israeli voters are waiting to hear who their next prime minister will be after heading to the polls for the second time this year. Current Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's campaign has leaned heavily on his relationship with President Donald Trump, who is popular in Israel despite his low approval rating among American Jews.
Mr. President.
The two leaders have maintained an especially strong relationship since President Trump moved the U.S. Embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem and recognized Israel's sovereignty over the disputed Golan Heights region. Netanyahu also moved to bar Democratic Congresswomen Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar from entering Israel after President Trump encouraged him to do so.
And I think any Jewish people that vote for a Democrat, I think it shows either a total lack of knowledge or great disloyalty.
On the day before the election, Netanyahu promised to annex all settlements in the West Bank, a last-ditch effort to get out the vote. He made a series of similar promises throughout the campaign.
So I'm quite worried that those kinds of statements make it harder and harder to produce what Israel needs. Now, I can understand, or at least I can argue, that maybe it's being made exclusively for political purposes, and maybe it's not really going to be intended. But, the fact is, the more you say it, the more it's harder to walk away from it.
Netanyahu has even used tactics similar to President Trump's. The prime minister said on election day that the media was misleading Israelis about right-wing voter turnout. He posted on social media, "The media reports that the voting rates are at an all-time high. They don't report that the high voting rates are in the left wing. The voting rates in the right wing are lower than ever." He also employed fear tactics, including saying, "What are you doing, right wing? Get out and vote to avoid a left-wing and Arab government." Only 49% of eligible Arab voters in Israel cast a ballot back in April, and a higher turnout in those communities would likely make it more difficult for Netanyahu to form a coalition. Netanyahu's Facebook chatbot was disabled for several hours Tuesday after he used it to question users about their votes, violating Israeli election law. Voters likely won't know the winner until Wednesday afternoon at the earliest.